Hey guys, welcome back to JJ's Flexx Corner, where confidence, leadership, and powerful conversations all come together. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who brings Atlanta the news every single day. Not only that, she's an award-winning journalist, a storyteller, and a powerful voice in the media. And I also read that she loves connecting with people through food. And if you know me, you know I love food. So please help me give a warm welcome to Miss Jobina Fortson-Evans. How are you today?
I am so blown away, okay?
Thank you.
This is the setup, the preparation, the energy. I love it all. How are you?
I am amazing. To be sitting down with you made my day.
Oh my gosh, the day is made as well. It's going both ways.
Yes.
Thank you.
So please tell everyone who you are.
Yes, so my name is Jobina Fortson-Evans. I am from Atlanta. I grew up here. I anchor CBS News Atlanta mornings here in the city at the new CBS owned and operated station in Atlanta. We launched originally in September. Our morning show is officially 1 month old. Prior to that, I was doing the 6 and 11 p.m. news, and we are here telling Atlanta stories in a different way, and it's really cool. I'm excited to be a part of this team and bring more of that energy to our city.
Wow.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing what you've been doing?
Yes. Okay. So in a way, I've been doing it for a little bit longer than it might seem, because I told you I grew up here and I went to Tucker High School. And when I was at Tucker, I was on the newspaper staff there. Our school newspaper was called the Tiger Tales. And my first article was a fashion column that I decided to start writing.
Ooh.
And I think it was like the title was something like Plaid is back or something like that. This was when like people started wearing flannel again and it was becoming a thing. So I decided to do a fashion column, and that's how I got started in journalism early on. And then started writing other stories in that newspaper, and then realized that, okay, yeah, you know what? This is a career I'm pretty interested in doing. Even for school projects, I would kind of do like yourself and always have video formats or something like that set up. So I knew I liked pictures and writing and video and interviewing people, and I just kind of needed to figure out how I wanted to blend all of that together. And then so from there, I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C. for college, and loved going to Howard, loved working in the nation's capital. And this was at a really big time in our country. It was when President Obama was in his second term, and I got a scholarship presented to me from him and former First Lady Michelle Obama while I was a student there. It was such a wonderful experience. I loved going to Howard. I was able to intern in New York City and in DC and all these places, radio, TV. And when I did TV is when I realized, okay, this is the avenue I want to go. So then after graduation, I got my first reporter job in Maryland. For an ABC station. It was very humbling because it was it was in a very small town. And I was not used to that. I'm from here. I went to school in DC. I entered in New York City, so going and doing stories on a chicken farm was like, what is going on? So that was really interesting. I did 2 years doing that, and then I did 2 years in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was like, oh gosh, am I making a mistake? I was thinking like everyone is gonna be like banjo, barefoot, overalls, country. Like, I know this, sorry to anybody from Kentucky, but the truth is it was fun. When I got there, it was a great experience. I got to cover the Kentucky Derby, which is really cool. Yes, it is. So if you get the opportunity in life to go, you must. Also, I can tell you like fashion. That is a big part. I do too. That is a big part of it. Also, the horse
I need
racing.
to get with you.
That's what I'm saying. It is so fun. And then from there, I went to San Francisco for 5.5 years, where I anchored for ABC 7 News in San Francisco and really enjoyed my time in the Bay. I think when I got to the Bay, as far as career-wise, I was like, okay, we did it. We are where we need to be. But all of those steps and every process was important for the career.
So when did you first realize that you wanted to work in the media?
I think it was a combination of all of the things. Like when I was doing the high school newspaper, it was kind of like, okay, like this is cute, this is fun, you get a feel for it. And then I think maybe my first internship in TV because my very first media internship in college was with the radio station, which was really fun. The beauty of that is nobody can see you, so you can roll up looking however.
Yep, you come in your nightclothes, your pajamas.
Exactly. And do whatever, but still have a really great product. Obviously, things have changed a little bit. You know, podcasts are obviously recorded and things like that. You can still do that in radio in some settings. But when I had the TV experience interning, it was kind of like combining all of those things because you write, you get to talk with people, you also get the visual element of it. And then that's when I was like, okay, let's go for it. Let's try.
I'm picking up like all these little points as you go.
Yeah, I could see the same for yourself, honestly, one day, for sure.
So when you first got on the news and started broadcasting, what was that like? Were you nervous or like?
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, so that would have to, let's rewind time a little bit to when I was working in Maryland. And I was 21. I had just graduated college, so I was pretty young, I would say. And I suddenly was responsible for telling the news in that area.
How did you get the job?
Girl, okay, so let me tell you. There's something called a reel. REEL is how you spell it. And it is a combination of a bunch of different clips. A lot of things that I shot during internships, say over the summer or during
I have one of those.
Yeah, exactly. It's just as a proof of your work, proof of concept. And I sent it out to stations all over the country. And this particular station got back to me very quickly and was interested, and I interviewed, and I needed a job out of college, so I just took it. I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So it was fast. So I went from being a student and, you know, living my life and going to parties with my friends and just having fun to suddenly needing to really wake up every single day for work and do the news. And at first it was exhausting. I was like, how do people work every day? Now I know because I still do it every day. But I was tired. I remember I had a little bit of culture shock just because it was so different from any place that I had been before.
In Maryland?
Yes, in this particular area of Maryland too. It's very rural there. It's not like, because when people hear I started out in Maryland, they're like, oh, Baltimore. I'm like, no, it wasn't Baltimore. It was not. So, and then, you know, learning about the different ways that people live and experience life and that kind of storytelling and becoming a better storyteller, making sure that I'm factual because I am responsible for doing the news. All of that, it was putting into practice everything that I had been preparing for over the previous 4 years and then some, I guess, if you include just my smaller experiences in high school. But yeah, it was an interesting start, but I'm really glad because I will say for anyone that is interested in journalism, you want to give yourself an opportunity to make mistakes somewhere. Because when you're in these bigger markets like San Francisco, for example, you aren't really, or here in Atlanta, you're not really afforded that same opportunity. You need to really be right, and you should aim to be right all the time when you are working in that kind of environment. But things happen, mistakes happen. You're new, you're young, you're trying to figure it out, and it's much nicer to figure it out when the audience isn't as big and when the stakes aren't as high versus you know, later on. Yeah, so that was the start, and it was interesting.
So what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced or things you had to overcome in the journalism industry?
I think some challenges are just making sure, it might seem easy, but being true to yourself. Making sure that I am representing myself the way I want to be seen in the world. It's a very outward-facing job. And also that the job does not define me. It's what I do for a living, but it is not my entire personality. Right. So it is something that and even today, I am on CBS in the mornings, and that is my job. It is a part of who I am because I have to be realistic. But
that's not all of who you are.
Exactly. When I step outside, people may know me from there or they may not. And that's fine either way. And if they do know me from that, yes, that's what I do. And I do want to represent, you know, the brand well and all of that. But also I'm Jobina. So, and reminding myself of that in any capacity, because it's very easy, I think, in any front-facing role to have those two things blend together really well. or well, I shouldn't say really well, but blend together. And sometimes it's good to have separation and remind yourself of that. And I think that is true for every stage of where I worked, is making sure that like it's me. Authenticity is everything.
It's very important. So how did you balance your work life with your personal life?
You know, at the beginning, it was not that great of a balance. Okay, I'll just be honest, because I was the new young reporter and like, okay, I need to get this story, I need to do this, I need to do that. So I was, you know, on my email constantly and always trying to find the biggest story and always trying to, you know, improve also and get better. So, and that's kind of, to me, what that early time was for. And I think as I have progressed, I really value boundaries and personal time. Yes, I'm going to, it is a kind of a job that where you're always on a little bit. So I'm looking at things, I'm paying attention. Also, I do genuinely enjoy watching and reading news, so it's a part of what I do.
I love that
anyways too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stay in the know.
Yes.
So I need to know that for my job, but I naturally do it anyway, so it doesn't always feel like work. And then there's always things that I think are beautiful to keep for yourself. I'm always amazed when I see influencers where I feel like I know and see their entire life, because I'm like, how do you do this? That is not my life. I have to keep some things separate.
Me too.
Yeah.
So do you guys pick the stories on the news? Like, I've always wondered, do you pick your own stories or do they pick them for you?
This is a great question. It's a combination. So there are stories that I like to tell. I love to tell stories about Black women or other women or entrepreneurs or startups. I love music. So I like film. So when those stories come up, one, people know that like, okay, Jobina's probably gonna want to do that. So if there's an opportunity to send it to me, they'll send it to me. And those are also what I pitch. So we have a pitching process and it is pretty rigorous. So not every story that I want to do gets approved to go on the air. And it is what it is. So you just try to make it as strong as you can when you're telling the managers about this. I've got this story. This is the person I want to talk to. And, you know, try to sell it. And usually I can find a way. But like, for example, I thought that a really good story would be to do the 1-year anniversary of a soap opera on CBS called Beyond the Gates. It is led by an all-Black cast for the first time since the early 90s. They film at Assembly Studios here in Atlanta up the street. It's a CBS show, so that's our network. So it's like checking all the boxes. I'm like, this is great. But also, I think representation is such a huge element of what I like to do in my storytelling and show and have people experience. So I wanted to go on the set and like do a series of interviews with the actors and talk about the impact of the show. Cool. They were nominated for NAACP awards and all of that. So it's like, I pitched that story and they're like, yeah, you know, and that's something that I also like to do. So that story ended up coming together really nicely, meeting the cast and working on that. And I love doing stories like that. And then they can be also stories about random things, like one of the oldest neon sign companies that makes neon signs is here in Atlanta, and I went to their office and it was really cool, and I made one with the fire and all of that, you know, like, so you never know what the day is going to bring sometimes after the newscast.
So what does a typical day look like for Jobina?
Well, let me tell you, it was a lot, not as dramatic as it is right now as far as the timing. But now that I do the morning show starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, very early. So I go to bed early and I have to wake up by 4 at the absolute latest.
At the latest?
At the
Excuse
latest. Me? Absolute latest, because I have to be at the station by 4:30. And people are already like, that's quick. But I do, like, I will give you inside that I do all the things the night before. My hair is in pin curls. My clothes are laid out. So like I have done my skincare and everything the night before. So that like I can just like get up and get ready, walk out the door. And we do a rehearsal for our show at 5 a.m. But so we have a meeting at 4:15 in the morning, 4:15 a.m. over Zoom that goes over everything that's going to be in the show. Then after that, I get to the station by 4:30. At that point, I'm recording all the show opens, like the good morning, now it's 6, we're doing da-da-da, you know, like all the little stories and the teases and the things, everything that needs to be pre-produced and recorded. I do that until 5 a.m. Somewhere in between there, I also do my makeup. We do not have makeup artists at the station. Everyone thinks that we do, but we do not. And they've been phased out in most stations across the country, unless you work in, probably my friends in LA, they still have makeup artists at their station, and the ones in New York. But aside from that, I don't know anyone that still has makeup artists anymore. Not really, which is a bummer. Unless you're at networks, so they do have them there. So I'll do my makeup, and then we do a rehearsal at 5 a.m., and then the show starts for real at 6 a.m. And then after the show, we have another meeting.
Oh.
I know. I'm telling you, it's like meetings and TV and meetings and TV. And we start working on what we're going to see for the next day, because we like to pre-produce things, make sure the stories that somebody, you know, has pitched are going to run and what's going on. And then from there, sometimes I'll go on a shoot. So like it can be anything from what we just discussed, where I'm meeting the Beyond the Gates cast, or Scream 7, the movie just came out recently, and I did something with people on their team. It can be literally anything. And those are 2 film examples. I love musicians, you know, talking to artists or art itself, whatever the story might be. We go film it after the show, and then over the next several days, I'll have that same morning, but then the afternoon will look a little different, and I'll be like editing a story or writing it. Yeah, so it's a journey. Yeah, it's an early day.
So what is like one of your funniest moments or like embarrassing moments? Have you had any on air where you're probably like, ooh, why did I do that, Jobina?
That is such a good question. Now, I want to say embarrassing. Thankfully, I don't think so. Nothing that I can't recover from. Here's the thing. Lots of things can be embarrassing. Lots.
Yeah.
It is just how you recover. Back when we were talking before we started the show, and I'm like, no one knows except you what's supposed to happen. So unless you fumble so hard, like you have a live...
And make it noticeable.
Yeah, make it noticeable, like you're supposed to be ice skating and then you just eat it. You still can make it look cute. You need to kind of roll around.
Yep.
And make it work.
One time I fell on the stage at a pageant, and my mama was like, okay, if you're going to fall, you need to fall cute.
Fall cute.
Yeah.
You need to do a quick roll, pop it up like Beyonce, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because how many times has Beyonce fallen on stage? I'm sure a bunch.
But nobody could ever tell.
Thank you.
You think it's a part of the production.
Exactly. The way she'll do that double back when we saw, what was that, when she did the Super Bowl with Bruno Mars, and then like, who would have known?
Who would have known?
Exactly. Who's going to tell them? So that's how I feel. That is like how I treat a lot of things in life. It's like, who's going to tell them? Who's going to know? We're just going to work it out. So for that, I would say, I'm sure it has happened a whole bunch. If anything, I would say, no, I think I really do. I'm going to be honest. I really do think I work it out.
I know that's right.
Most times I'm going to work it out because I'm already there. It's like, okay. Yeah. No, that is, As far as like learning experiences, though, I will say in like live environments, like if you're covering like, for example, the Golden State Warriors, like the NBA team, won the national championship. Huge parade, and Steph Curry and like all the people are coming down, and I'm doing like live interviews. If anything, it's just as a reminder to like keep control of the environment when you have the mic. Like for this is your show. So if I go off the rails, you got to bring it right back because it's your show, and I don't decide what we talk about today. You do. So I always at least have learned through experiences, especially like, and the reason I brought that up, that example, is because I can remember going to interview someone and I was like, they look like somebody that is gonna be trying to like go a little off the rails in my interview. We don't need this on TV. And how can I make sure that I maintain control of my environment? Because it's me that is, representing either the station or the network or the story or whatever, and I want it presented a certain way. I don't want anyone that's gonna take us out of that environment.
Yeah. Is there a story that you covered that you feel like really stuck out to you, or like you'll always remember it?
Yes, I have a few stories that I'm really proud of that I've gotten to tell over my career, and actually both examples of these were nominated for Emmys, which was really exciting.
Wow.
But one of them is about Frederica Newton, who is the widow of Dr. Huey P. Newton, who was one of the founders of the Black Panther Party. And I was telling you earlier how I like fashion. Mm-hmm. I met her because I was in the fitting room at this boutique in Oakland, and I saw her, and I was like, no way, is that Frederica Newton? Like, just out and about. And it was her. And I was like, oh, Lord, she's going to think I'm crazy, but I got to take this opportunity. So I just went up to her and, told her that I admired some of the work that she was doing in the community and that I would love to tell her story, because at the time, no one had really done any in-depth stories on her, pieces about her husband in that way involving her. And I asked for her phone number, and to my shock, she gave it to me. I called her, and we did a mini documentary that is now used in the Black Panther Museum in Oakland, California, which is really cool. And I had.
Did you see the documentary?
Yeah, well, I made it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was going to be just kind of a shorter story. Mm-hmm. And then when I was interviewing her, I was like, you know what? No way. She has such interesting things that she's sharing, and I want people to be able to hear it. So I had to go to my management at the station and say, hey, we have this, and show it to them. They all really liked it and agreed that it could be longer, because typically, in the news, a long story is like 2 minutes.
A long story?
2 to 3 minutes is considered pretty long. I would say the average, they like to keep things around like a minute and 20 seconds, a minute and 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So when you're going 2, 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, it's like, oh my gosh, they gave you all the time in the world to tell something. And this was, I think, 13 or 14 minutes. So it was basically the length of a half-hour show when you kind of factor in commercial breaks, intros, outros, all that thing. Mm-hmm. So we were able to run it, and yes, she was really happy with it. It's now available in the museum. It was nominated for a couple of Emmys, I think, and yeah, it was. I was very proud of that. And there's some other stories too, but again, I think it kind of goes back to visibility, representation, telling stories with and about Black women that I really enjoy doing, and that was an example of that too.
So, what does Black women or women in the media mean to you?
I think it means being yourself. Mm-hmm. I do not think we are a monolithic group. I think that we are so diverse, and that is what I want to continue to show over the air. So I interview Black women that are similar to myself and very, very different from myself all the time. And that's the point, is that I want to show the huge span of who and what we are, from age to background in education to where we're from. We represent the diaspora in many different ways, and I want people to be exposed to that constantly if we can. Yeah.
So who would you say inspired you on this journey?
I think there are lots of people that inspire me. I have peers that inspire me, and Issa Rae talked about this in an interview, I think a few years ago, about peer-to-peer support, and that is something that I think can sometimes be forgotten. And of course, sure, I have mentors, definitely, some that are more well-known, some that are not, and I'm forever grateful for them. The mentorship element is very important. But also, I think there is real beauty in having your friends and peers in your same industry all look out for each other. Or I can, reach out to my friend that I know is a correspondent for NBC. I work for CBS. Technically, that's a competitor, but we're still friends. We went to Howard together. And they are out here doing amazing things. And I know if I have a question or something like that, they'll answer. So to me, that's all very inspiring to see your friends on the come up and then for yourself doing the same thing. So I think it's a combination of mentors, peers, people that I watched on the air growing up, especially in Atlanta. Everybody knows like Jovita Moore, for example, Monica Kaufman Pearson, and Brenda Wood. I mean, the list goes on and on, but it was really cool to grow up in a city because I went to college, especially with people, or interned with people that were like, oh, I didn't really see anyone that looked like myself on the air. That was not my experience. I did see people like myself on the air. There are more women like myself on the air now, which is exciting. But I loved seeing that because it was inspiring to know that, yeah, they're doing that. I definitely can. It kind of gets that different level of confidence.
What advice would you give to someone that would want to start in journalism or would want to be on the news?
I think you should ask yourself the why first, because if it's because you want to be on TV, do something else. be an actor or, maybe host a show. But as far as journalism, there's a lot that people don't see. So, for example, when we were talking about my day, we have to be very well read on what's happening in the world and understand what's going on. You also have a lot of writing that I don't think people realize. Writing.
Ooh,
that goes on in the background. So we are writing scripts. I am writing stories. I'm writing emails, which is not really a part of it, but that is a huge element. So being a strong writer and storyteller and understanding who and what those stories are about, and that the stories are not about you. The stories are about the people. So if that is something you're interested in, I would say go for it. And don't be afraid to start small because sometimes you don't get in those bigger cities and markets right away. And I know what that is like. It is not necessarily fun, but it is also not forever. And you can surprise yourself too, because sometimes going to those smaller cities that you are so unfamiliar with can just bring a whole new sense of awareness. And sometimes I know people that have stayed because you realize, oh, this is a really special place, and you don't judge things just based on the size of a city, which I know was something that I was doing very early on. And we edit, we film our own things a lot of the times. Like, it is a very multimedia world that we live in. So being open and flexible in that sense too, I think would be some good advice for anyone that is genuinely interested.
So now we're going to have a quick game segment called Real News or Cap. I'm going to tell you a scenario and you tell me if you think if it's real news or cap.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. A town in Switzerland banned loud toilet flushing after 10 p.m.
Real news.
Real.
Okay. I've been to Switzerland and I just believe that would happen there.
A man trained his goldfish to play soccer.
Cap.
Real? Really?
Where was this?
I don't know. A man tried to use his dog as an Uber driver after losing his license.
Okay, I could also see this being real news.
Really?
Yeah, but is it cap?
Yeah.
Okay, only because of the goldfish one. You set me up.
Okay. A city installed slow walking lanes for people texting while walking.
Okay, I hope that is not real news.
Cap.
Okay,
Cap.
thank you. Thank you. Please be cap.
A zoo tried to dress dogs as pandas to attract more visitors.
Okay, I could see that being real news.
Actually, it's real.
It's real news, yeah. Yeah. People love pandas.
A man called the police because his order had too many chicken nuggets.
Real news?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, people are wild.
Yep. A town in Alaska once elected a cat as mayor.
Okay. Please be cat.
It's real.
Oh my gosh. Help us all, Lord.
A cat named Stubbs served as an honorary mayor.
Oh, you know what? I think I do remember that.
Really?
Yes. Because people do the weird stuff like that. And this is not the only city that's like elected an animal. And I just, come on.
So what advice would you give to someone that would want to start doing what you're doing?
I think you can start whenever. Don't feel like you're too early or too late to start anything in life, honestly. So if I was meeting someone today and they were interested, I would say give a call up or an email to a station and see if you can go shadow. Like if you're a middle schooler, elementary, high school.
I was just about to ask you about that. I would love to come and shout.
I already talked to your mom about it. Yes.
Ooh, yeah, I'm excited.
Because I think it's great to be able to see stuff.
Yeah.
In person, see the studio, see the control room, and just get a feel for it. The best thing to me, I think about, and I interned a lot when I was in college. Mm-hmm. The best thing about internships or shadowing people or meeting people is that you can see if you like something or not. Yeah. It is really okay to have this big dream and idea of something that you thought that you really were gonna love, mm-hmm. and then you get in there and you're like, well,
yeah,
you know what? That is not exactly for me. It is just as important and just as valuable to know what you love and also know what you don't love. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if you don't get to try it, you've spent so much time thinking that was something that you wanted to do. And especially because in a business like journalism, it is so, I think, in real life, very different from what people think it is.
Yeah.
The more people that can be exposed to it earlier and just have some general ideas, I think the better. Yeah.
So, Miss Jobina, we have something for you today.
Oh my goodness. What is this? Wow.
Let's see it. We need to get some sirens in here.
Right, the horns. Okay.
Ooh, what does it say?
Let's see. Wow, this is so fancy. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Wow. From JJ's Flexx Corner and the Nick and JJ Show. Thank you.
Of course.
This is gorgeous. Okay, budget. I see you. This is so nice. Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay, Media Flexx Award.
Media Flexx Award. Clock it all. I hope they can see.
Do you prefer savory or sweet?
I wish I could say savory, but it's sweet.
Really?
Yes, I have such a sweet tooth.
Ooh, me too. I love a good brookie. Ooh,
oh
yes.
Gosh, me and a baked good go together real bad. It's a problem. It's a problem.
We have a sweet surprise waiting for you later.
This is so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Of course.
This was real. You did a great job.
Oh, it's here.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious? You're not. You're playing right now. What is in here?
It is from one of our favorite sponsors, Honey Sweets Bakery and Delivery. Thank you so much, Miss Sheila. It is a pleasure seeing you again.
This is so sweet. Thank you. We need to see the shirt. We need the promo.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Have a sweet tooth. We can fix that. Oh my gosh.
How are you? I'm great. It's good to see you again.
You too. Oh, this is so exciting. I love Biscoff cookie butter. And then what's the cake flavor?
It's a Biscoff.
Oh my gosh.
So you have a Biscoff cake with Biscoff cookie butter.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. You know what I might do, Janae? I'm going to take this to the newsroom and this will be gone. I'm not joking. In 5 minutes. The way people...
So where can everybody find you, Miss Jobina?
I mean, after this, they're going to find me on the floor. But... You can also find me on social at Jobina Fortson, just Jobina Fortson. Is usually my username for all the things. And when you click on it, yes, Jobina Fortson-Evans, because that is my married name. So we got to add on a little to the end.
Yeah.
But that is where you can find me, Instagram, TikTok.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. I truly enjoyed this.
I enjoyed this.
Yes.
This was a great time. Thank you for inviting me. I had fun.
And thank you guys for watching. And always remember, be bold, be heard, and always
Flex you.
Clock it! That was so cute.